Okay, so check it out. We put these brand new teeth on, a whole rack of teeth on the Prime Tech last week. We got these aftermarket. So these are the aftermarket teeth that we got. These are the last teeth we pulled off. These had about 550 hours on it. And they're still in pretty good shape, but we decided to re-rack it for fire season with a whole new set of teeth. This one's a little worn on top. But here's the drum that we brought the machine back this weekend because we're working up in Quintet up in the forest. Not much rock, hardly any rock. In fact, I got video of them working up there this week. But look at these aftermarket teeth. And we bought teeth from before for our Fecon head, and they work just fine. But you can see on this drum, and they weren't hitting rock, doing force work, timber, but there's something wrong with the carbibes on these. This one's broke. This one's broke. We'll spin. Let me re-angle this here. But this one's broke. Come down here. This one's broke. This one's broke. That one's broke. I just spin this thing around. Broke. They're all breaking up by broke. It's almost like the holders disintegrating or giving away from them, and the carbide just breaking out. Broke. 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 So we're used to getting about 400 or 500 hours out of a set of teeth. Broke all along the. It makes no sense because normally if you hit a rock, you break one or two where you hit a rock. But this whole drum, they're broke all around. There's about, I haven't counted them, but there's got to be at least a dozen or more broken on this drum. In 40 hours of masticating, actually a little less than 40 hours masticating. So, real disappointment. Something is wrong, definitely wrong with this. Either something's wrong with the brazing, how they hold the carbide in, or just inferior carbide or something. I'm not sure. I'm actually making this video to send to them to show them, hey, there's something wrong with these teeth. We've been operating for 7 years now, and you know, we run Prime Techs, we run skid steer with Fecons and FAE heads. But like I said, the Fecon teeth worked fine. These aftermarket teeth just fell apart. I went down yesterday. These are OEM. I got 4 boxes of brand new OEM teeth, and there is a definite difference in the tooth here. Let me grab this one. So here's the aftermarket tooth. Here's the OEM tooth. So you can see it's got a little better buildup on it than these. But where it's failing is it's failing up here. All these teeth have failed up here. Where these teeth, and they got a shoulder here. These teeth, the actual ones that we replaced 560 hours ago. I mean, they've held up really good. A lot of. Hey YouTube, so here's what we're doing now. Okay, we got all the Chinese teeth off. We're putting on new teeth. What I did was I specced out old teeth that we had on here. And a lot of these, even though they got about 550 hours, they spec out. A lot of them spec out pretty good. What we're looking at is we're looking at the face, and we're looking at the back shoulder on this. And then we'll take a measurement here and compare it with a new one. So what will happen is if these carbibes stay intact, they'll wear off and you'll start losing the shoulder. When you lose that too much material off the shoulder, you'll start getting that with your nuts. They'll start wearing the tops of your nuts. It's a good idea to replace your nuts each time you replace your teeth, and we'll go over how to replace a tooth on these. We've knocked them all off. So what we're doing is we broke our drum into thirds. So we got a center line here, and I'm going out with 14 teeth, 7 teeth on each side of the HD teeth. The HD teeth, let me grab a new tooth here. The HD teeth have 4 carbibes, 2 on top, 2 face carbibes. The standard C3 tooth has a hard face with 2 carbibes on top. Now, the original ones we took off, here's one that's worn but still has the carbibes intact. So what you're looking for in tooth wear is how much of the top carbibes wore off, and you can see how that one's sloping down because this is wearing off. But we're looking at the shoulder here on the face, how that's worn all down off the sides. Then you start compromising the sides of your teeth. You can see the new tooth. These are exactly the same teeth. These are FAE OEM teeth. So you can see the difference in the face, hard face on this compared to this tooth. So we're looking for this wear here and top wear on top. So you can see, you don't even have to take a micrometer to that. You can see the distance here and the distance here. So this tooth's worn out, definitely gone, even though it's still got the carbide on it. So we're doing, we got 44 boxes of these teeth, brand new. What we're gonna do on the head is we break it in thirds. We put HDs, I put in reusing some of our HDs, and then I'm gonna put 12 teeth, brand new teeth on each side. So we'll have a good drum that, and where I put the HD, a lot of times we'll put knife teeth. If we're just in timber and we're not gonna hit any type of rock, we'll run a knife tooth and run carbibes on the end. So when you change teeth on the drum to keep it balanced, center line your drum, and then you want to put teeth, the same style tooth, in one line. Then a third of whatever other style tooth you're putting on. That'll keep your drum in balance. So I'll take the tooth and I'll take a hammerhead and I'm going to seat the tooth first. So we're going to set the tooth into the pocket. And when I tap it in, I'm tapping on the hammerhead. I'm not tapping on the tooth or the carbide. So I'm going to tap it in. Until I feel a solid seat. And you'll feel that when you tap it in, you'll feel that tooth seat up to it. Then we need a washer. This drum, we use conical washers, so they do have, you got to feel them with your finger to make sure you put it in right. You don't want to put the conical washer upside down so it domes up towards your nut. We'll stick a new nut on it. And what I do, just for speed of things, I'll set the nut with a small impact, a little 1/2 inch. I'll set it, I'm not torquing it at this time. I set it there, I give it another tap to confirm that we are set down the metal. Now I'll set the whole drum that way, and then I'll come back with the big 1 inch air impact, and that's where we'll torque the whole head down. When we're torquing, I like to use a white paint pen, and when I come along I will mark each one of the nuts that we go down and torque, rotate, mark them, torque. That way no nut gets over torqued No nut gets torqued twice. So mark them, torque them. Once you get your final torque on it, it's done. Then we're going to fire it up, spin it up, make sure we got a nice, smooth running drum. Then we're ready to go out and do the work. Make the customer happy. Everything's in, everything's torqued. You can see how I do it as this line is down when I mark them originally. Once they're torqued, then I can verify on each one that, and I get about 3/4 of a turn. We want to hear back from you guys, you know, if you guys do it different and have a better way of doing things. Again, we're not sponsored. No manufacturers coming to us or anything like that. I'm going to spin this head up. So let's give us a little bit of hydraulics. Raise up my hood. My hood's open. Bring up the RPMs a little bit. Engine mulcher. Alright, we're going to start spinning this up and feeling it. Spinning up, drum's moving. Oh yeah, smooth as ice. Look, you can see the display, nice and smooth. Let's crank it up to full operating speed.